Thank Warm welcome to one and all. As I've been telling, we have looked into various symptoms, signs, what is all that palliative care has in it. Next, with all that in mind, you will all be thinking, how am I going to do it? For that, we have Ms. Sunanda Samal, who will be taking us through what to do, how to do, and how and when to get the help of Pallium 2. She's the regional coordinator for Central India, and she's part of the state facilitation team for Pallium. And she is from Odisha, but presently she is in Pune, and she's obtained her master's degree in sociology. And see the amount of experience she's had. She has 20 years of experience working in various sectors. 20 years in social fields is not an easy thing. What is that she shouldn't have been faced with to deal with? And she has wide experience in healthcare. She's been associated and worked with UNICEF, and she's been part of many government projects and programs. So that is another thing. With government, it is difficult. Some procedures are different. Yes, for that also she can help you through. And last but not the least is she's able to communicate in 6 languages: Odia, English, Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, and some Gujarati too. So we have someone who is an all-rounder who is going to take us through it. And as a person, she is amazing and excellent. I pass it on to Sunanda to take us through, dear.
Thank you so much, Radha ma'am. And good evening to everybody here. And I welcome you all to this session. And as Radha ma'am has already told my introduction, I don't need to tell more about me. And Shri Priya, my colleague, has already explained that this will be a bit different, non-medical topic. So basically, we'll learn how to start a palliative care center. I'm sure you all must be working around it. And so, without much delay, I'll just quickly get into the topic. Once again, welcome all of you. Let me share my screen.
Yes, we can see Sunanda.
Yeah. Is
Go
it
ahead.
visible? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's clear. And only thing, make it as a slide show mode. And with that, it should be fine.
Just a minute. Slide show more. I don't know. It's not 1 minute. Is it not visible in slide mode right now?
Not yet, Sunanda.
Okay. Let me just stop share and do it. Sorry for the delay. Yeah.
When you opened it, Sunanda, it was there on the top. So if you just click it, that'll do. That's it. When you opened it, just open it back again.
Yeah, sure.
The slideshow option is there after animations.
Yeah, let me just share my screen now. Is it okay now?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So
go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay. And so we are getting into the topic right now. So as you can see, so the topic is organizing palliative care services. And we'll just move on to the next slide. Just a minute. Okay. So we should. I don't know why it's not moving. Just give me a minute. Shripriya, can you please help me with this slideshow sharing? Do you have it with you?
It is the old version.
Yes, the same one. Please help me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing.
In the meantime, can we just pause the recording for a moment? I will.
Sure. Important. Next slide, please. Shripriya, next slide, please. Yeah. Okay, so we have spoken about the triangle in a broader perspective, in a broader context. So now let's talk about the Indian context. So palliative care in Indian context, basically we are like organizing palliative care in Indian context. We have three major categories, as you can see also in the presentation. One is standalone, so hospice or a palliative care center, and the second one is a department. I mean, within a hospital, there is a unit which works as a palliative care center. It can be either a government hospital, a charitable hospital, or profit making, sustainable, whatever. And the third one is community based home care. So these three, in terms of in Indian context, we are talking. So now let's go just one by one in detail. So a standalone is a model. Is It's an independent facility where we provide palliative care with specific focus on pain and symptom management and improving quality of life in patients and their families. This can be done through a hospice or a palliative care center. So I think standalone hospice, standalone hospice or a palliative care center is very, very clear that what it is actually. Now moving to the department, how within a department or within a hospital, how a different unit can be set up. So this is how it happens is that in a particular hospital, there is a dedicated department or a particular room, you can say as such, which is attached to that established hospital. It can be a government, as I was saying. So there are examples. We'll show you the pictures in the next slides. So this is about the unit inside a hospital. Now coming to community based. This might be a little different, little new for many of you. So community based home care, there's a community who's involved, definitely, as the name suggests. Here we have to reach the receiver. So in both the above cases, the patient comes in to this particular setup. But in the community-based home care, we reach the care receiver. Here, the social capital act as a bridge between the macro and micro, and the major element of the social capital as the volunteers. We'll move to the next slide, so things will be more clear. Yeah. So these are some pictures of standalone hospice. So it is an independent. It is only for the palliative care. There's no other units inside it. Yeah. Go next one, please. Shreya. Yeah. These are some of the standalone hospice who are actually doing dedicated service only for palliative care. Move ahead, please. Yeah. Yeah, so this one is this second one within a hospital. As you can see, they have named it as palliative care unit. So it is a hospital, but for the palliative care, they have had dedicated room. Maybe for sometimes some places they have dedicated 5 beds, 2 beds for the inpatients. So this is how it is. Next one, please. Yeah. So now I was just talking to you how the community model works. So this one is basically we will be talking about the Kerala palliative care model, where you can see there's a micro, meso, and a macro. So the meso is a bridge between the micro and the macro. So the micro here is actually the patient, and the macro is a hospital where you know they are not able to reach sometimes, so that is why the meso component is the bridge, and you can see that a team is there in that picture, and they're taking some details, and they're attending the patients. So this is the setup. So where there's a difference, actually I'll tell you the difference between a regular home care service and a community model is the model of delivery. In Indian context, the macro component, which here is the tertiary care institution, are getting bigger and bigger, and the micro element, the beneficiary is not able to reach them, as I was telling you. So the community actually takes the ownership of bringing the micro and the macro components together, bridging the gap. As and this is actually the Kerala model. Why we say? Because in Palamenda, in our areas, we follow this particular model. So now Kerala state has utilized the power of community model, which might not work in other settings where you belong to, but we would like to bring to you as an example, because sometimes at least some components of it can work. So that's the reason we keep this in our presentation, so that people know about it. Yeah, go ahead, Shubhriya. Okay. So, since we're talking about community, and I was telling you a little while ago that in a community, volunteers' role is very, very important because without them, we actually cannot work smoothly in the community. So, here is one of our very dedicated volunteer. As you can see, his name is Mr. K. Nair. So, he is a 70 plus year gentleman and he was in the army, and his wife was actually diagnosed with stage 3 cancer and she died unfortunately in November 2004. So ever since that time he has decided to be a part of Parliamentar's volunteer team, and he goes along with our home care teams. He's involved in patient care. He thinks that it's my duty, and as a volunteer there's no hard and fast rule for them, like they have to report at this time or serve for this many hours, nothing as such. So voluntarily, the real volunteer I can say, because there's no compulsion, but still he is still dedicated and he comes, he keeps data, he keeps in touch with the patients, he talks with them. So, and in due course our beneficiaries, whoever he talks to are actually become very comfortable to talk to him, and they very openly share their issues with him. So this is just one example of a volunteer. We have plenty of such volunteers in Palan India team. So I just wanted to share about Mr. Nair's contribution to Palan India. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah. Okay. So this is a 10-step approach. So you can just see there's a sketch and how we can go ahead. So actually, this is the main slide of this presentation, you can say in a way, because it gives you a at a glance picture of what should be done to start a palliative care service. So so we'll just go one by one. First is, as you can see, arrangement of funds, definitely. So before starting to organize the whole program, we need to think of where we can arrange for funds. So if you are a part of a government hospital, there are funds available through various programs like NPPC and Ayushman Bharat, etc. For private hospitals, of course, you can create the service and you can charge for it. And it's for the charitable or the individual where the actual challenge is. For them, we can go to CSR or public donations. So you should have an idea which source you will be opting for. So definitely when the fund is arranged, then only we can think of the next step, which is recruit and train a particular team. So, and another important aspect is training, because initially you'll have a doctor, and if they're not trained in uh, particularly in palliative care, it will be difficult. So we have to have a doctor, a nurse, and a social officer uh, who has to be trained in, palliative care. So going forward, like suppose when you grow later on, you have a big team, so you might require allied medical professionals like pharmacist or a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, dietitian, etc. But the core team has to be a doctor, a nurse, and a social officer, social worker, or whatever you call it. So, as a basic unit, we need these three who should be trained. Just like all of you are doctors and you're taking this training. So, once you go back, if you have a nurse who you think is, what you call qualified enough, but she's not trained in palliative care. So, we do have different batch for nurses, so you can refer her name to us and she can be trained. And similarly we have training for the social workers also. So then you have your core team, all the three trained in palliative care. Okay, so moving on to the next one, it is to build an infrastructure. So next thing is that for that you need an infrastructure. So it can be you can start with just a room for the OPD, or a space and furniture for inpatient. As I was telling you, the least thing you can do is to start with the OPD. And in many cases, what we do is, if you don't think that it will be feasible to start a separate OPD only for palliative care patients, we always suggest that you can merge it, like your whatever OPD sessions you have, I mean OPDs you have, there you can also merge it and have it for the palliative care OPD. But ideally, if it's separate, it will be better. So you can start with a room or a for inpatient, you can have a little bit of space and furniture. And in case of a home care, it's a little bit to start with at least a vehicle, definitely, because you have to reach the care receiver. So you have to travel. So, and then you have to have essential medicines and other consumables. So the third one is infrastructure. Now everything is ready, funds are ready, you have a team, you have a structure like infrastructure or building, and things are ready. Now you have to procure opioids. So as I was telling you, availability of essential drugs is important for pain relief. So to procure, store, and dispense opioids, you need to be a part of a recognized medical institution. In short, we call it RMI. So I think, Shripriya, this session is over for RMI for them.
Not
No,
yet.
we'll have it
Have it.
after.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
last
Okay.
session.
Okay. So, yeah, as you heard that you'll be having a session separately for RMI. So basically, this is for all the private hospitals or all the NGOs who are working in palliative care. They would need to have this certificate, which is called 3G certificate. We call it RMI. And here I want to tell you that all the government hospitals are by default RMI, recognized medical institution, and they do not need this certificate. But of course, they need to maintain the record of the opioids that they've spent and all the other details of the opioids. So that is the only difference. And we have seen there are many organizations who are still now following the old license, that is somewhere it's called NDPS 2 3. But the difficulty is that in those old license it is only valid for 1 year, and the RMI that I'm talking about right now is valid for 3 years. In detail, you'll come to know later. Okay, so procurement opioids we've already discussed. Now, network building and established connects. Definitely, you have to establish connects with existing experts in palliative care in your region. So this will help you to understand the local challenges and support available. So this is very important. Otherwise, you won't know where to start. Okay. Now, create awareness. So from the very beginning, we were talking about what are the challenges. So lack of awareness, since we all agree that it's a challenge, so we need to look at this. And so for that, you need to arrange different awareness sessions for the public, as well as your team, to help them know about palliative care. So this will help you get referrals, as well as identify local champions who can take your work, to more people. Okay. So after the awareness is done, now we have to develop the OP. So developing an OP, maybe you can have a local hall, I was telling, or sometimes, in a particular remote area. We also say that maybe a classroom of a school or college, because it is not that palliative care services only being provided in the metro cities or something. It is also needed for the rural and the interior parts of the country. So, where we do have challenges in getting a space, so we can use one of the classroom or whatever. Like, we have just given an example, you can just explore what's possible in your areas. And then ensure that all the facilities that you find are disable friendly. And you can also have an examination table, a chair, and some basic furniture and essential medical equipments for conducting an outpatient unit. So this is how the OP is ready, and then we move on to the IP. Now, for an IP for the inpatient facility, will involve a little more infrastructure, because we need beds and side lockers, etc. I think you all know better than me. So that's how you can think of your inpatient. So, and I want to tell you here that most people start with OPD, and I mean, then when the flow is more and they see that, yeah, people are aware and they really want now the inpatient facilities, then you can think of the inpatients. So you can start with OPD. Okay. Now coming to home care. So home care, definitely we need one vehicle which can accommodate the team of doctor, nurse, and social officer, and medicine, consumables, etc. So these are scenarios where just a doctor and nurse can go on a two-wheeler also. See, as I was telling you, we have remote places where maybe a vehicle won't go. So there maybe you can think of a two-wheeler, and the passion is important. So it's just the passion that drives you how to reach the uh, care receiver, and what best we can do looking at our region, or the facilities that we have, you know. And here I think the involvement of volunteers already I have discussed why it's important that volunteers should be a part of this team, because in home care, in Kerala model, we do have volunteers who tell us that in which area we have patients who need palliative care. It's the just the opposite. They tell us and then we go there. It's like that. So they have we have different link centers where they're referred, and then our team reaches them. So this is actually a basic flow. It's not a concrete thing that you have to really follow this particular method, but just to give a fair idea like how it should be. So we have just explained it to you, and it might vary from settings to setting, like depends on where you're based. Yeah. Shreya, move to the next one, please. Okay. So now here we have certain strategy for financial delivery models. I'll just explain. Uh, so as you can see, first one to the left is capacity building. So you can understand capacity building is one of the major support that we are providing, because you all are now being trained. This is online training happening. So we do this kind of capacity building. This is the foundation training for doctors that you are going through now. So as I was telling you, we have same trainings for nurses, for health workers, and we do have training for volunteers also, physiotherapists, pulmonologists. So a lot of training we have online, offline. So that is coming under the capacity building. Then the next arrow is coming to availability of opioids. So for opioids availability, we support in getting the NDPS Act implemented. We create awareness for medical institutions, and we help to get the RMI license. Like, we help the organization, and we talk to the drugs controller. We try to work with the NHM, the National Health Mission, the health department, to get opioids included in the state essential drug list. So basically, our team, the facilitation team, is doing all this work. Later on, I'll tell you exactly what we do as a team. Okay, and then we go for we do hand holding for district level. We also help in connecting local palliative care networks. We provide documentation. So, a lot of things. And for different states, we also develop the program implementation plan, that is the PIP for different states. We also, develop the palliative care documents, and a lot of documents. I mean, as per request, of course, it's not a mandatory thing. Whoever approaches us, we do that. And we also help in recruiting human resources. Okay, so recruiting human resources for starting a palliative care. We facilitate cost management, and we help in build funds through donations, and help them how to submit a particular CSI application. So all anything and everything that comes under facilitation, like helping them to have a proper palliative care setup. And also we have now something called implementation team support. So it is just in the very, very nascent stage now. So there's a team of a doctor and a nurse and a social worker who will come all the way to your region on request from Trivandrum to help you out, give you a hand holding to set up a palliative care center. Because what happens is that we actually started, but we don't know how to run it smoothly. So we are Pallium India is trying to provide a team which will come to your region. The duration of stay will be maybe minimum will be 1 week to maximum maybe 15 days, 20 days, maybe 1 month. Depends on how long you want it. So this is the model. Next one, please. Okay. So, all said and done, we know that in everything that we do, or we start a particular activity or start a particular center, anything that we start, there are challenges. So, we have just jotted down few. I'll just read it out. So, for all, the right hand side is only for government. For all sectors, we are having some common challenges like availability of funds and human resources, and sometimes for procurement of opioids, many cases they do not feel safe, so they do not want to take the responsibility of the opioids, so they do not procure or do not go for the license. Then inadequate knowledge related to palliative care and amendments. This, I was talking about all the awareness, why awareness is important. So this is the reason. And then there are very limited human resources who are trained in palliative care. So, be it the doctors or the nurses or anyone, so a lot of training is required again. And many do not find it as a very lucrative business. That's another reason why there's a gap and why there is so much shortfall. So they do not, encourage. And then mindset is that it's a lost cause, so why do we spend more on that. So that's also a very sad thing, but it is a challenge definitely. And I want to tell you that these challenges are all based on our experiences, and when I say our, it's all my colleagues across the country. So when we talk to different government officials or to the NGOs or wherever, so after our visit, or we come back with these kind of challenges and we discuss. So that's how we have got these points. Then let's go to the other side, which is the government side. So limited budget for palliative care. So that is one of the reasons why many of the government hospitals still do not have a palliative care team even. So I just want to tell you, in Maharashtra, like recently we have started, we have a plan to start palliative care centers in 2 different districts as a model palliative care center because the government wants it. But we realize that they do not have the team for the Pune hospital. I realized, I discussed with them, we found out that they do not have many positions are vacant. So if you don't have people in place, who's going to work? And they're already overburdened. That's one reason. Then medical colleges dependent on state budget. So again, Shipwreck kindly, yeah. So no provision of funds. And then it is sad to say here that palliative care is actually not a priority among all the programs. It is, though Palamenda is actually struggling to make it health integrated, as it should not be parallel, but it should be integrated so that it gets due attention. So, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So it is not actually getting priority. Then, especially in the northeast states, as I was telling you, I have a colleague who is based in Northeast and Guwahati. He's looking after Northeast states. So from there, this challenge has come that they have very limited funds, especially for those states. Then there's a communication gap. So Ministry of Revenue, the center, and the implementation to be done by Ministry of Health. So there's a lot of communication gap. Then there's a reluctance in collaborating with NGO. I think all of you will agree, because when it comes to NGO, like government thinks that they don't really trust and they don't want to join hands with you. So that gets things delayed and affects the particular thing. Then correspondence with central ministry in all union territories, getting an appointment. So this is also a big challenge, because just to meet a particular government officer, it's taking a lot of time because they're so busy. I'm not saying they do not want to meet us, but then they have so many things in their plate, so they don't get time to meet us. So unless you meet them virtually also it's a challenge. So once you get an appointment, then you have to tell them, and then maybe you have to do follow up. So first appointment is also very important. That gets delayed. And then follow-ups, yeah. So the MOU that I'm talking about, I'll tell my experience. So for getting an MOU with Maharashtra government, it took me personally 1 full year, because as I was telling you, that getting the first appointment, then getting the follow-up appointments. So finally, after a year of struggle and follow-ups, it is done. So that's how it takes a lot of time. So one year is not a joke. It takes a lot of time, and by that time you would have done more things. So this is a challenge. And then conflicts in interdepartment and hierarchical approvals. So this is also, I think you all will also agree, it happens everywhere. So these are the some challenges we have jotted down. There may be many more, but as of now we are just jotted down these. Yeah. Next one, Shreya. Okay. So as you can see, this is just a standard audit tool. So this is a kind of self-evaluation for a particular palliative care center. This will come much later once you have your center ready, and then later on you can do the validation. So to know actually where we are standing. So I don't think it's yeah, it's visible. Like there's a part A and part B. So part B is desirable and part A is essential, as you can see. So the minimum requirement should be there. The ones listed in desirable are regular requirements. So this is just for your information to understand how it should look like. Maybe later on you'll get a copy of it. Yeah. Next one, please. Okay. So since we are talking about Palem India's work, let's see in which model Palem India works. So Palem India actually follows a model which in short we call it as DEF. So D stands for demonstration, and E stands for education, and F stands for facilitation. So let's go to the next one, please. Yeah. So when we say demonstration, so what do we demonstrate? So it is a model that we take care of our stakeholders, so that potential stakeholders like you can learn how to deliver palliative care. So here we have the tips. Trivandrum Institute of Palliative Sciences, which is also a WHO collaborating center for training and policy for access to pain relief. So this building is our Palem India office, in which we have inpatient care, we do have outpatient care in government hospitals out there. And from here, our home care team goes to different parts of Trivandrum. Then we have rehabilitation, we have the halfway home. Okay, and these many patients have been seen in Trivandrum. And when we talk about community engagement, we have around 87 volunteers, and numbers are growing now, and we have more than 14 link centers. So this is the place. So all of you are welcome whenever you want to visit, and to many doctors have visited after the training, and we do have offline trainings also. You all are now in the online mode, but we do have offline trainings also. So since you're already trained, you don't need to go for the training. So you are most welcome to visit our center to actually see how we deliver. Next one, please. Okay. So before going into the education part, I just want to tell you we do have a national helpline, and this you can take a screenshot, or the numbers will be given. Why we have put this? Because we want that patient should connect us, like from all across the country. As you can see, the numbers and the timings and the days are given. But only limitation is, as you can see, the language. We have only these four languages. So here the procedure is, if you give a call in this number within this time period, so you'll get a beep sound, and then you have to tell from where you're talking and regarding what you want to talk to. Like basically, it should it should be about a patient or a particular case, and then it will be connected to a doctor, and the doctor will uh, you know uh, get back to you. So I request all of you to note this and spread, so that people contact us. And other than that, we do have like all my colleagues and me, we also get directly the contacts, and we also can help you to connect you to the nearest palliative care center. So this is a helpline. You can just note the numbers or take a screenshot. Yeah. Next one, Shreya. Okay. So so this is just go back, Yeah. So on the right hand side, you can see that demonstrate, educate, and facilitate. There are three circles. So that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Next one. Okay. So in education, yeah, definitely, we are talking about training programs only. So we have different trainings. As you can see, for doctors, we have FCPM, which you all are now going through the training. Then for the CCPM is on offline, that which means you have to be there at Trivandrum for the training. And similarly, for all your nurses, you can get back to us for the FCPN, Foundation Course in Palliative Nursing. And similarly, for them also, we have offline courses. They can come to Trivandrum and have it. Then for all allied healthcare professionals, we have FCPC. For this, you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse. So anybody who is in this particular field, like a social worker or anybody, can join this foundation course in palliative care. So now you can see volunteers. So many times we get a question, who can be a volunteer, and what is the volunteers training? I want to just little bit elaborate here. A volunteer can be anybody. A volunteer can be anybody, starting from a housewife or a student or a retired person, anyone, or a person from Rotary Club, Lions Club, anyone who is interested to, be a volunteer and help. And for that, we have a 5 days online training. Earlier, we used to schedule it actually from our end, but now we are doing it on request. So if in your region you have about 40 to at least 35 to 40 people who are interested to go for a training, so we can conduct for them. It's a 5 days training. It starts on a Monday and ends on a Friday, and 1.5 hours per day. And it is a free of cost training, and it will is a certified training. So you'll be getting a certificate at the end of the training. So why I'm emphasizing this? Because when we talk about awareness, this is the easiest way to reach people. You don't have to spend, you don't have to come to a particular place every day to take a training. So you are at a comfort level of your house, you can just log in and uh, learn what is palliative care. And it is all our trainings are customized, so it will not have any technical things or any medical jargons that you have to understand. So it will be very simple language, and at the end of the training you'll you'll understand that, okay, as a person, as a volunteer, what I can do. So I also request all of you to just see if you can if you want this kind of training in your region, you can get back to us. So other than that, we have some student volunteers and palliative care beneficiary. Arohan. Arohan is a particular group where all the palliative care beneficiaries, it's a group for we can have their training also. And we have specialist training also. So these are the different trainings we provide. And other than this, if you want any kind of specific online awareness sessions in your region, or you want a team to go now that COVID is away, so we can plan that also in terms of educating the mass. Yeah. Go ahead, Shipriya. Okay. Next. Yeah. So now I just want to tell you that how we are placed all across. So here is our all regional coordinators. So Our North Regional Coordinator is based in Dehradun, so he's looking after these states. Then his name is Mr. Rajendra, that Bijalwan, and then we have one colleague sitting in Guwahati. He's looking after the Northeast states. So the reason of mentioning here is that I don't know from wherever you are, so you can just connect with that concerned regional coordinator, and then you can here can help you uh, to work. Yeah. Next. Yeah, so this is my region. So I look after Gujarat, Maharashtra, Orissa, and I just want to mention we have another new coordinator joining very soon. He's already joined, so he's looking after now MP and Chhattisgarh. So I think Shri Priya will share his number also in the chat box later. Yeah, and for South we have Mr. Lalit, so he's looking after all the states in the South. So this is how we are actually, Palimanda's presence is there all across the country. So it's not only limited to Trivandrum. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So since I've been talking about uh, facilitation and what we do in bits and pieces, I've told you. So I just want to tell you. So in Parameta, we have so many other departments. So also we have our department, which is called State Facilitation. So this is headed by Shalini, who sits in Trivandrum, and we all are all across in different places. And we do not have an office as such, but we work from home, and then we visit the. There are two departments that we visit. I mean, government departments. So one is the health department, second is the drugs controller department. In some states, they call it FDA, the Food and Drugs Authority. So we work with them, and we also work with other organizations like NGOs or any particular private hospital uh, who are interested, or they already have a palliative care center. They want some, some kind of help to strengthen it, or any kind of NGO who really wants to start something in palliative care. So we work with them. So this is basically our team working with government and non-government sector. Now we'll just move to the philosophy. What is the philosophy of this particular team or division? So I was telling you, basically we are aiming to integrate palliative care in all the three levels of healthcare. All the three levels, primary, secondary, and tertiary. And you can see that we have basically 5 objectives. Broadly, of course, because it is very broad objectives. So first one is catalyzing palliative care centers and services. So, just exactly the reason of having this session is that we want that there should be more palliative care centers all across. Because I must tell you that I myself feel that in Maharashtra, if I talk about Maharashtra, still we do not have enough. So sometimes we just have to think. For example, if I talk about Maharashtra in Pune, so Pune has Cipla Center, but it is limited to cancer. So sometimes I feel our hands are tied. If you have a non-cancer patient and who needs a palliative care center, we hardly have a scope. So that's why we are encouraging that we should have more and more of palliative care centers. So and what is our role? How we can help you? We can help you in end-to-end facilitation. When I say end to end, it's actually end to end. So how to start, then how, training your team. So, and then hand holding, as I was telling you, a team can come down and help you out, and connecting to different organizations or government, so end to end, we can do it. We can help you out to set up. Okay. So then after that, the second one is we assist in opioids accessibility by facilitating in getting certified, getting certified as RMI Institute. I've already mentioned that earlier, that we can help you to share the guidelines with you, what all are required to apply for the license, how you can apply, what are the forms, what are the other attachments that you need to, how you can apply, where you can submit. So all the things we can help you, because in every state we by default we have to meet the state drugs controllers. So all our teammates, they have good rapport with the drugs controller, so we can help you out to get the license. So this is actually long procedure that's involved, in which you learn through opioid availability session later when you have this. So we help our stakeholders to go through this documentation, and if required, we also help you in how to fill up the application, everything like maintaining records, and we can give you some samples like that. So again, here also end to end, like we'll give you information and then we'll give you the guidance how to go ahead and do it. So this is one, and the next one is that we enable palliative care learning in medical institutes. So what we do is that, as we know, sorry, that education plays a major role in delivering palliative care. We try to work with medical institutes to involve palliative care in their undergraduate curriculum for doctors. So here we work with the trainers, then they train the students in palliative care. So any one of you who feel that, if at all you are working in a particular medical institute and you need this kind of sessions or something, so we are there. So this is also one of our agenda that we do. Then apart from that, the next one is that we work with stakeholders to help them build community engagement and help them mobilize volunteers. So here in Pelham India, we create awareness among the public, get similar interest people together. Then they form a group as in link centers, and then take ownership of taking palliative care across their region. So here, if someone of like, and some people, you have a community and you think you already work in a community and you can train them as volunteers and take their help, so we can help you out to mobilize, or to help we can help you to know how to build the community engagement, how to strengthen it. We can help you in that. Then the last one in the column is that develop pain-free hospitals. This objective is actually in a budding state right now, but we're trying to develop such hospitals wherein any patient that enters for any treatment is assessed or treated by the pain score. The pain score is measured by a scale which ranges from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. So this is actually um, ongoing now. It's an actually nascent stage, as I said. Yeah. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so this is just a national presence map. So how many states that we've worked in, and how many centers have been catalyzed, how many on-site trainings, faculty development. We have something called faculty development program also, that is for the medical institutes. So then we have hands-on training sites, opioids. So this is just a glance of, and as you can see, the map is full all across. So we have some other activity happening in almost all states, so that you can see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer, and we can discuss. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sunanda.
Thank you, ma'am.
As you have said, like you have given a detailed explanation and examples and how it works, because these are the things which will be going through everyone's mind. How do I do? And again, as Sunanda has said, I will once again reiterate that Palim will help you through, because we have got coordinators all over. And that also, Shripriya, normally she shares the telephone numbers of We have drawn two for each region. If you can go through that, also will be nice. So that you said about Lalit and yourself, you have Rajendra and Rontu also, no? So and then so that they are also aware that everywhere, all nooks and corners, there are people to help you. And one of my query only has come in the chat box also. Like I think why two states are in white, Karnataka and Telangana. And then they've asked about offline training. I think we can give those two information once I finish. So basically, all of you can feel comfortable. See, we're not only telling you how, like what is palliative care, what, like all the knowledge bit, okay? Knowledge and skill was done initially. Next is practically how to do it. And as I mentioned initially, you will have a session, you have one session on opioid availability, in which what she said, how to obtain opioids, that also will be dealt with in detail, what form, which government, how, what pattern, because that also is needed. No, you give something and then it doesn't work. Why? Then what are the ways or what are the places it can get delayed? How can you avoid it? That also will be dealt in one session. And in that phase also, these regional coordinators will help you. Because see, you want to provide a service without morphine. How are you going to provide the service? So not only morphine, in that session, we'll take you through what all you can get, how much to get, all that will be dealt with in detail. And once again, I would say, see, home care is part and parcel of palliative care, because we may have patients who cannot come to the hospital. Patient cannot come. Family, it may be one person, two-person only there. They may have these social and then practical limitations. So home care is something which is very, very essential. And for that, once again, Pallium Tips in Trivandrum is a center where they have 7 home care teams going every day. Okay. So it is always nice to see. And all 7 teams may not be able to have a doctor. Okay. They will have a small run up of like every day morning they will have a meeting and a brief to know if it is, because they will have a list of, they have divided the whole areas. And in one of the session I did mention about something called as FST, fast tracking, you know. So like that they will have different teams and they will have in brief idea what is that they're going to see that day. And if they feel that they are seeing many new patients, they need a doctor in the team, so they will have a doctor. So at least they will have one nurse and one depending on social worker. Or, again, that also is all based on the need and patient that they're going to see. So they will have a briefing and review on what they're doing. Accordingly, the team will be made. So one doctor, nurse, and the drivers there, no, they are so much part of the team. They will help the. That's why here, no, this team working has a very big role to play. And so it will be always nice if either you all can go to Pallium and see, or at least, again, Sri Priya will share you, all over India, there are some centers, like palliative care centers, which are recognized, where you can go for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, some form of hands-on training, because that is essential. See, all of you are specialists, many of you are specialists, so you are okay. But still, some little queries. If I do this, what happens, and how will I do? For example, use of low dose morphine for breathless. You know, if you see, you have to see to believe how much benefit it does. Okay, so these are options which we would suggest. So some amount of hands-on training also would be helpful for all of you, so that you all get the confidence and comfort to comfortably practice and give the benefit to the patient and for yourself too. So the details of, I'm just looking at the chat box. Details of all the facilitators Sri Priya has shared. and the on-site training. There, it's a 5-week program, okay? And those details also, it happens from like one period, like from March. I think first training started on 2nd March. Like that, it will go on like for few months till November, if I'm not wrong. That's what. It's not all those exact details. Shripriya will share. So that is again a 5-week program if you're interested, something that is there. And there's a fellowship program also, which I think it's a 1-year fellowship program. All that also you can get more information. And now, Sunanda, go ahead with the 2 states, what there was. 2 states are in white.
Actually, Karnataka and Telangana, we have hands-on training partners and we have mobilized palliative care centers, but I need to check why it is in white. So it is not that we have not done any work there, because as in the map you can see there's a hand sign. So when you have like this, so we have hands-on training partners out there. So I'll definitely get back to you why it is in white. Thank you.
That's all. That because I myself can tell them we have swims there. I have been there. I have done their offline training for them. I was there for 10 days, and God's grace, they've already started a palliative care service. And we do like hand holding, we do conduct every month, one first Saturday, whatever difficult cases they are having. We are doing like something like an MDT. They will pick up what are the cases. What is that challenging cases they have, and we've already had 2 sessions for them. They started about 3-4 months ago, and there it's an excellent team. 4 departments together are running the show because everyone has their own job on radiation oncology, anesthesiology, community medicine, and nephrology team. All 4, because they were all part of the training, and all 4 HODs are as I say, no word to say. All 4 HODs actively participated in the program. They are HODs. Not that they were running the department and attended this, and they are running the palliative care service also similarly. All 4 of them are sharing 1 month, 2 months like that with their postgraduate trainees and running the palliative care service. So for them, we are doing monthly ones, like an MDT program. Whatever difficult cases they have, they will bring it up. We will discuss, and then that is already happening to give you all confidence that we do continue to help. It is like even to set up. No, Pallium has like what are the resources you need for that. Also, they have a template. So if you ask, you will get. So if you have to have the interest, then ask and you'll get. As she mentioned, Karnataka, I am not exactly sure about it, but Andhra Pradesh already, I know Andhra Pradesh has, Tirupati already has set up. So maybe this Telangana, is that the reason why, or that intricate things Sunanda will help. I've just told you what is already there.
Yeah, I'll check and get back on the white color. Yeah.
And if you had seen in the map, there are 2 pain centers also already, the pain-free centers. So everything, see, it has to be an effort. So that's what, see, the aim or objective of Dr. M.R. Rajagopal is so good. He wants to make sure that palliative care is available for everyone. Why is that someone should not deserve being comfortable? So collectively, we all have to work together to get to that goal. Anything else is there in the chat box? Something, let me see, because something else needs answering. Karunashriya is there. We have been to Karnashriya also. I don't know whether Karnashriya is associated with the Pallium, but Karnashriya itself is an organization. They have inpatients. They have a full good setup. You go ahead and tell anything more about Karnashriya.
Yeah. So here I just want to tell you how when we say stakeholders, So how we, what makes them Palm India stakeholders? So I'll just give an example. Since Palm India doesn't have a particular, a palliative care center all across the country, so what we do is we collaborate with our, with the partners, with the organizations who are working in that particular state. So then that's how they become our stakeholders. So in case of Karunashra, they are our partners. So what we do is if we get any query, any particular patient who's looking for a particular services in palliative care. So in Bangalore, so if they approach us, so we tell them yes, you can approach Karunashra or whatever. Like we do have the list of the centers in our directory, so that's how. So this is how we partner with different organizations and hospitals, which is listed, and still we are getting more and more. So our directory is getting updated very frequently because we are meeting new people, new partners, and then we are getting the details from them. Details, when I say details, means yeah, Shripriya, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add on that regarding Karunashraya. Yes, Karunashraya is our preferred collaborated hands-on training partner for the global fellowship program. Like we do have a 1 month clinical posting period for as part of the global fellowship, and participants who wish to do hands-on in other collaboration centers, they can do 9 days hands-on training with Karunashraya. So that is how they are associated with us. This is only one aspect. And then we have regular WhatsApp groups wherein if we get references, we share with them. And then eminent faculties from Karnataka, I believe, take 1 or 2 sessions for us as well. So that is how the association. I just wanted to update that. Over to you, Sunanda.
Thank you, Shripriya. Yeah. So as Shripriya was saying, similarly we have other partners all across the country. So we just want to connect people. Like we want to be the bridge to get them to the organizations because most of the organization details are not there, and say they suppose they contact us directly, then we guide them to that particular organization or hospital or hospice or whatever. Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else anybody would like to ask, or in any of the things that we went through, like different that micro, meso, and all is basically like anyone has any doubt in anything particular you want to ask, unmute and ask, or
Ma'am, I
okay,
want to
if
give an
not,
example of a particular,
go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to give an example that when it comes to palliative care center, and like people think, okay, how do I do it for free? So we are also encouraging that even if you charge, consider the poor people who cannot afford, and please start. So the example I want to give here is the Fortis Hospital, which is in Navi Mumbai. So they are our partner, and it is a completely private hospital. You all must be knowing it is in Navi Mumbai, Vashi. So they are our partners, and they approached us that they want to start a center. So first thing is that we trained their particular team. So after the training, then they started with OPD, and they merged with that their existing OPD. And now they are in a stage of the getting the license, and they're planning to charge. I mean, not free of cost. So I just want to mention here that if not for free, but at least make it affordable, and so that people can approach you and then can avail the palliative care services. So this was the example I want to share because I think many of you must be from a big cities, so I thought of sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunanda. I too remember you during one of our sessions telling us how you did the hand holding and helped Fortis to get started. From one more query, I thought, see this, if if it is a private, because these type of questions do come up. If it is a private one, like if they want to have, because some setups do have the charging, even in some, because I'm telling, I know a very popular center in Chennai which has an intensive care which is normally charged, and one which is not that high charged or a little bit less or maybe free. So can you throw some more light on someone, if some institution which is a private organization, like if they want to start like some pool funding or anything like that already exists?
Not exactly in my region. I can say about Gujarat because they have infrastructure. Like it's I think in the outskirts of Baroda, they have an infrastructure and they are very keen to start a palliative care center. And that particular doctor had visited Palaminda recently and had a look, and she was there for a week to understand. She also has completed her FCPM, this particular training. So there are different, different stakeholders approaching us. One is they have nothing; they just want to start, and some people are having human resources, but they don't have infrastructure, so it will take some time. And there are this example which I gave for Baroda. They have a huge place and infrastructure ready, but they don't know how to do it. So she, out of her own interest, came to Palaminda, did her visit, and then she's now in touch with me. So we are guiding her how to start. So that's one of the example. I'm just thinking of more if I can share. Yeah.
So that's what. So like start slow, start low, go slow is what. Something better than nothing is what. If for people who are having the intention, inclination to start, as we always say, first training, the same, the entire today's session, step by step. No, first find out who is interested, train them, and then resources also. You can just start an outpatient for 3 months, 6 months. Exactly, this is what we told for swims also. Because it was a hospital, they are in the process of starting an entire oncology unit. Okay, they are in the process. They have not yet got that. But and they already have like other department. It's a private medical college, so they were keen on palliative. So outpatients is what started, and then because they are already a medical college, they said okay, within 1 or 2 months they started a small inpatient also, 5 bed. So outpatient, if you start with one doctor, nurse, and social worker, this at least these three people are essential. Okay, then comes inpatient, physiotherapist, counselor, clinical psychologist. Those are all additional stuff. This base three, no, if you have only, it will be good and nice for the palliative care, looking after the patient and the patients. It's very essential because everything one person cannot do. And if you do like that, you will have burnout and you will not be satisfied. Your service or provision will not be to quality. So all these three are the basic essential. So with those three, if you three can get trained and things start, and then go ahead, go about it, would be the best way forward. And outpatients for some months you do, you will know what is your demand there. Then how can I supply or meet the demand? That is the way forward. Because everywhere you start, it will go multiply 3, 4 times. Okay, that is how it will be. So slowly, if you move forward, that you can do, and Talim is always there to help.
Yeah, ma'am, I want to also share that sometimes people ask, okay, online, I mean, how you can help us without coming to us. Like, there's a question. So, suppose they say we are based out somewhere in Gujarat or Chhattisgarh somewhere. So, how to do it? So, here I want to just share how I did. It was very interesting. So, I want to say there's a hospital, in Balod, which is in Chhattisgarh. It's a mission hospital. So the doctor was trained from us, and then later, after a few months, I got connected. I spoke to her, and then we realized that they have everything going on, but they want to procure opioids, so they want the license. So, I had a few Zoom calls with her, and then I shared the guidelines and the forms and everything. And obviously, we met many times virtually, like over phone calls, Zoom meetings, everything happened. And then she applied because I had already contacted the drugs controller of Chhattisgarh, and so like that happened. And then she applied. We were constantly in touch. So after 3 months, she gets back to me saying that, "Thank you, ma'am, we got the RMI license." So even without going also, just exchange of information and having a particular follow-up system in place, and hand holding through, I can say, virtual hand holding, so that happened. And now they have RMI, and they're really thankful for that. So everything is possible if both the parties are actually dedicated and really want to get things done. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
See, that is I have always taken it. That's the positive bit of COVID. Okay, everything we had so many difficulties. I don't deny. Okay, physical, emotional, all elements. But the positive bit of COVID is that this online platforms improve. It has helped. You've given what I'm telling is proven by your example of how it happened. See, with these so many platforms and options are there, and so okay, if they have any difficulty, also immediately they contact. Even okay, this form, this place, you can literally show them. Oh, this is what you have to do. Do it like this. So that helps. And then finally, the good benefit is obtained. So that is no need to uh, get worried. So other than narcotics license, what are the other license or permission for starting? And I think that one start maybe for opioid availability session, those things will be covered. Sripriya, anything? Sripriya or Sunanda, anything else specific,
No,
dear?
no, I think in terms of license, I think that is the one needed. And maybe the doctor's certificate and everything, the registration number, all those things will require. You'll get to know, sir, from that particular session.
Yes, other
And
than
that's
that,
what.
maybe the regular local administrative rules in place, like the waste management should be there, permission from the local government body should be there. If you are thinking about those IP services in sense. Otherwise, whenever you are running a medical setup, there should be some basic guidelines, basic rules which are in place set in by the local government. So that all should be there, I suppose. Sunanda, correct me if I am wrong.
Yeah, that's correct. So basically,
Same.
yeah.
You
So
go
I
ahead,
think,
Sunanda.
yeah. So I was saying that RMI is the one, the narcotics license. Other than that, whatever Shrupriya and ma'am was saying, and more, I think you'll get to know in the session. And here, I just want to tell any one of you who are from Maharashtra, Gujarat, Orissa, or Goa. So because I think it'll be easier for you to connect. So I'm looking after those 4 states. So you can directly get in touch with me if you want any further guidance on starting a center or RMI or anything related to palliative care, like or having a session for volunteers, anything. So I'll just write my number in the chat box. Though Shripi has given, so but if it's written central, so they won't know what are the states. So I just wanted to specify. I repeat the states: Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, and Orissa. So if you connect with me, and I can just guide you to other uh, coordinators from different parts, that we can do. Yeah, thank you.
So that's all. So that session we will take you through, and local. This starting up a service, no, it depends on what type. If you're already in a hospital, then many of the queries, no, will already be there. Like you will fall into the second category. It's not a standalone. You will be part of the hospital. So like if you go through the session, no, like the PowerPoint, what you will get shared and go through, and you will fit into one of them. Okay, accordingly, the needs will be there. And if it is a standalone or you're doing starting something on your own, then only more information and things will be needed. And any query, anytime you get in touch to Palliative, we will, even if something doesn't come out, you have something else, some other query comes up, that is another way to clarify and solve it. And
Any other
hands-on training, that one you will share, isn't it, Shripriya? Like the places nearby to all of them where they can do their hands-on training?
The PDF has already been shared in group, ma'am. I have already
Oh,
shared.
that, already what is, where all they can attend. Okay. That's important. At least I would recommend 5 days, 5 or 10 days, just 1 week. If you could find out somewhere close by to all of you, try to go and attend and see, so see to believe, and that will be really helpful for all of you. In that case, I will pass it on to Sri Priya, because there was nothing more in the chat box.
Thank you, Sunanda. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It is always a pleasure listening to your very vibrant presentation. Today was no exception. Thank you so much. Thank you, participants, for making this interaction lively. And with the promise that we will meet again in the next session with another different topic and at another eminent faculty. This is Ripriya along with Mr. Sunanda Samal and Dr. Ata Venkateshan signing off from the Tipsy Club. Till then, everyone stay safe, stay connected. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks,
Thank
ma'am.